It may have taken me a while, but I finally found a new shirt to wear in a video. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are doing an episode of Hot and Cold. This is a video series I like to do where I talk about the best and worst music I've heard over the past week. Specifically for this upload, we will be discussing any songs that were released between November 17th and November 23rd, 2019. You know the drill. The songs are down below in the description. If you want to check any of them out, feel free to do so. And for upcoming episodes, give me some suggestions. First up with the hot tracks, the best of the week, and I'm gonna kick it off with Kesha. She has a new single out. It's called My Own Dance, and there's lots of swearing in this track, so if you're not a fan of swearing, don't listen to it. But if you are, it's got some damn attitude to it, some hella fine damn attitude. The most surprising thing, and what's really making me happy about this song, is the songwriting credits. They go to the lead singer of Imagine Dragons, Dan Reynolds. I don't think Dan has been writing his best material for Imagine Dragons recently, so it's a breath of fresh air that he's helping out Kesha on this one, and he lends some pretty good background vocals for the track too. Moving on from there, Alicia Keys has a new single out. This one is entitled Time Machine, and the first couple times I listened through it, I didn't know who the artist was. I was purposely not looking at my phone, but it was nice to see that Alicia Keys came out with such a solid track here. Slick and smooth bass line on this one that I'm really digging. Elsewhere last week, HAIM have released a new single, and I finally enjoy a new HAIM single. It took me a couple tries. I think they've put out a couple this year. Wasn't a fan of either of those, but definitely with this new one, Hallelujah, soft and almost spoken deliveries are all over this, and I'm actually getting on board with it. There's a sweet tune behind it as well, and yeah, good stuff. Next up, Illenium and Ekali. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Both of those artists have teamed up for a single called Hard to Say Goodbye, and we have a feature from Chloe Angeledes. Lots of names I can't pronounce. That vocal feature from Chloe is fairly breathy. It's similar to vocal timbre of Selena Gomez, but on the track, I think what makes up for that is the beat drop, which is dazzling. Quite dazzling. Of course, now that we are moving towards holiday season, we're going to be subjected to Christmas music, and I have a song to recommend from this past week. It's from Rhett, a country artist. This track is called Christmas in the Country. It's just fun and lighthearted. We're no longer in October anymore. We don't have to celebrate Halloween. I know some of my American friends will be celebrating Thanksgiving very soon, so I'd also like to wish them a happy Thanksgiving upcoming. But after that, you can kick into the full gear of Christmas, and check out this Rhett song if you are interested. Moving on from there, Ed Sheeran is a vocal feature on a Stormzy track. This one is called Own It. It's pretty generic for tropical house, hip-hop beat fusion there. Ed is actually more than tolerable compared to most of his music that he's released in the past year, and I think this is a fine track. I'm going to be all over the place with the genres of the next few tracks here, but next up we have Blood Incantation. This is a metal band, their latest single. I don't know if it is a single, but the Giza Power Plant. This cut has plenty of drones to it. We have some sludge metal passages as well underneath this unreal death growl going on here. The track is also pretty melodic too, so if you are looking for some melodies, I do admire the guitar on this track. It feels like the equivalent to what a pop song would be going for, at least with the guitar solo, because everything else certainly isn't pop friendly at all. But this track, I like the way it plays with the tempos as well. The drums will be playing pretty quickly, and then the guitars will make it seem like it's halftime. So yeah, just lots of different things going on with the time signatures, even though everything does sound cohesively playing at once. Paul McCartney has released 2 B-sides in support of his 2018 record Egypt Station. They came out last week. One of them is landing on my hot list, and that one is entitled Home Tonight. I love this one for its horns and the overall pulse to the track. Moving on from there, Mark Ronson and Anderson .Paak. They've seen fit to come together, join forces. They've put out a song called Then There Were Two. This is an R&B track that suits both artists very well. I feel like Mark challenges Anderson to perform well. I feel like Anderson challenges Mark to produce one of his best tracks of the year, and it's definitely an improvement over like 90% of what was on Late Night Feelings. And lastly, to wrap up the hot tracks for the past week, we have some new Ozzy Osbourne. The latest from him is called Straight to Hell. This one is heavy and it's ball-busting for its guitars. An amazing vocal performance from Ozzy, and it's a solid rock tune. Now switching gears to middle of the road, these are songs that I thought were okay, not great, not bad, just putting them out there. First up, we have a Doors cover of The End by Marilyn Manson. This is a metal cover of it. It's pretty long. I mean, the original is also pretty long, so if you're able to get through that one, you might get through this one as well. There are points in the lyrics that I am put off a little bit, especially with the father wanting to kill his son. I'm not really big on what he was saying there, but oh well. We move on. Scott Helman, the pop singer from Canada, has released a new single. This one's called Evergreen, and I've liked songs from him in the past. I think back to 2015 with Bungalow. That is, I think, my favorite by him. With his latest single, though, Evergreen, I feel like it's chasing some trends. I don't really have much else to say other than that. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think it's very distinct for the artistic ability of Scott Helman. Something Real by Summer Walker, London on the Track, and Chris Brown. That came out last week. It's funky with its bass line. It's okay. Moving on from there, Paul McCartney, again, bringing him up here. The other single that he put out last week that I thought was okay was called In a Hurry. This is less catchy compared to the other track, Home Tonight, but I do still appreciate the lyrics of having someone living this rushed lifestyle. They're always working towards something, and yeah, it's great to be devoted and motivated, but sometimes that can really detract from celebrating your life too. So you gotta make time, make room for that. Don't forget it. LOONY is an artist who came out with a new song last week as well. Some Kinda Love is the name of this one. LOONY is a Canadian pop singer. I think I've mentioned her a couple times in the past on this series, but she comes through with a decent vocal performance and some okay production on this tune as well. It's pretty inoffensive. And Lewis Capaldi is back. He put out a new track, Before You Go. This is on the deluxe version of his album that he has out right now. He's got some raspy vocals on here, basic guitar playing. It kind of reminds me of Andy Grammer, that record that he put out earlier this year. And also mix that with like James Bay or Bastille type vocals. There's nothing really out of the ordinary, nothing too spectacular, but this artist, Lewis Capaldi, he is quite rapidly accumulating a big fan base at this point. He's the talk of the industry. For me, though, I feel like he's a little overrated, a little overhyped. I don't know, just something about him makes me feel like I've heard it all before, but yeah. Cold tracks this week, worst of the worst. We have a couple new ones from Party Next Door. One's called The News, the other is called Loyal. I think one of them is featuring Drake. I honestly thought that both of them were featuring Drake. Either way, apathetic vocals are on both of these tracks. We have boring ambient production and Drake singing. It's been much better in the past. It just sounds like he's mumbling more with age. And lastly, to wrap up this week, we have a new track from U2 and A.R. Rahman. This one is called Ahimsa. It's commemorating the first performance by U2 in India. It's about non-violence. Either way, whatever the cause this is about, I think it's an underwhelming and bland kind of song, and I don't know what that vocal processing is around that 2 minute and 50 second mark, but it's very atrocious and it just ruins the track for me. There you have it. There's Hot and Cold for this past week. Make sure you sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this music. I'll catch you next time. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. Thanks for watching. Have a rockin' day.